Commissioner. He'll show up. He doesn't have to be here. We are now back in session for public comment. Now, this week, we're going to do it like we did before, but next week or the next time we do public comment, there's a sign-up list in the back. Please grab a card.
There will be. We don't have.
We don't have now, yeah, but that'll be the next time. We're going to follow the new format. So those who would like to speak, come forward. You get your 5 minutes. State your name.
Good evening. Jeff Lang, 9586 North State Route 66, Director and founder of POW. Last month on the 20th, we had our 21st sweep of the Great Miami River, our adopted 16 miles from South Sydney to South Piqua. We had 105 volunteers out there with 35 canoes, 4 pickup trucks, a telehandler on Vandermark Bridge. We pulled out 4,180 pounds of trash in 4.5 hours. That included the weight of 71 tires. The breakdown on the weights was about 1,300 pounds on the A team, the first 5 miles south of Sydney. The next 8 miles was about 1,060 pounds, and then the 5 miles through Piqua was about 380 pounds. Also in there is the weight of the tires, which is evenly distributed between all 4 teams. Very proud of my volunteers for their tremendous efforts to get all that out of the river safely, without incident. Unusual finds in the river were a masonry basin for a mason to mix up his concrete as he's laying brick and block, a bicycle, 2 shopping carts, parts of a gun, rack from a dishwasher, a toy shopping cart, a large piece of tin, a split pot pressure cooker, if you remember what your grandmother used to cook the potatoes in, a very large woman's brassiere,
Oh my God!
futon sofa, a refrigerator door including its shelves, a deer stand, a rotary phone, and a baby seat. This is our 21st year of doing this. This puts our collective total at 217,000 pounds of trash in 21 years. Let me repeat that. 217,000 pounds.
It's crazy.
Well over 105 tons, okay? That includes the weight of 2,036 tires. That culminates in 15,500 community man-hours worked. I don't think there's any group along the river that sweeps it as intensely as my group does. We are current holders of the largest amount of trash for our section versus the other sections. I think that's because my volunteers go at it with great gusto. If they find a tire laying flat on the river, it's been there for 50 years, they do their best to dig it all the way out. I would be remiss if I did not mention our sponsors. Our main sponsor is Cargill out of Sydney. They crank in tens of thousands of dollars for all the sections from Indian Lake all the way down to the confluence of the Ohio River. The northern sections from Franklin, Ohio up to Indian Lake go in July. The southern sections below Franklin go in late September. The southern sections have more people than what we have total, but they all walk it. That's on each side of the river, 3 miles by each team.
Nice.
They also have the support, as do many of the northern sections, of their local governments, their townships, their counties, city governments, as far as equipment, dump trucks, and things like that. Our major sponsors for the PAL section are Atlantis, that gets all the shirts for all the groups at a discount. Nice. The City of Sydney for doing all of our accounting for all of our sections collectively. Budweiser and the Budweiser distributor down in Dayton that wants to be remained anonymous, but we just put Budweiser on the shirt. We're not out there drinking Budweiser as we're cleaning the river. Also, I would like to thank the Miami Conservancy District that also puts in a lot of money into the general fund. I also would like to thank Butler County Stormwater District, who is the administrator for all the southern sections. I want to go through the sectional sponsors real quick.
You have 30
ask that if I
seconds.
go over.
You gotta go.
Okay.
I gotta
well, then
cut you
I'm
off
gonna
at
go,
30 seconds.
Thanks to the city of Piqua and Chief Byron for one of his crew on the four-wheeler going down the trail, helping our elderly walking volunteers. Chief Adams for the fire department being on alert that we're out there. And also for Amy Welker, who has left, but
Yeah.
her crew helps pick up all the trash we collectively gather out of the Piqua Hydraulic Canal for the summer sweep of the hydraulic canal, which only netted 15 pounds, which is a record low for the city.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Good evening, Commissioners.
you. Evening.
I'm Scott Phillips, 9640 Piqua Lockington Road and 901 Piqua Troy Road here in the limits. That's where my TV studio is. And this is where I show you what, now that I'm officially retired from TV, I'll be doing. It's a North Star Kayak Park. We have 2 locations right now. One's being contested, but we will eventually have that one as well. And this is a way for everybody in the community to safely kayak and canoe the river. Let's get connected. Let's get out there, okay? Because honestly, we talk about Lock 9, and I think it's the best thing Piqua's ever done. It's beautiful. We use it all the time, and I can't congratulate you enough for the suffering that you endured to pull that together. I know it was controversial, but this right here needs your help. And not for money. I'm not asking
No,
for
you're
money.
not.
Okay, I
Got my
want you to
support.
use it. But the next thing I want you to think about, this is the North Star Kayak Park, okay? It's in conjunction with Larry Hamilton and a historic Rossville. And this is the first major big community project that we're doing there. And what we would like to have done at North Star is at Lock 9, we'd like a boat-safe dock that you can take your kayak up on, your canoe up on, and easily get in and out of the kayak. One boat safe will do a whole army load of kayaks because it's quick in, quick out. Treasure Island has one. That's the best one because it's in and out, and it's got a safe dock and a way for you to help ease yourself in and out. Now, I brought along the brochure right here, and honestly, I'm not a politician, but who's the mayor here?
Me.
Okay, Chris, excuse me. This is for you. This gives you the breakout, and keep that, pass that around to the appropriate people of all the costs. And again, not asking for any money on this. We have other sources of funding. This is in Rossville Village. And can't thank Larry Hamilton enough. And Damon Wilson is the landscape architect of North Star Coffee Shop that has the very detailed plan. You have the small version there. And so we want a boat-safe exit at Lock 9 and one at Giles Park. Because quite honestly, those 2 places are the best way for someone to have 4 hours on the river, stop at Lock 9, go to Crooked Handle, have lunch, maybe have an ale or a pop, and away you go. And now people will connect to the river. I will tell you, down the road, I have founded a nonprofit called Miami Sylvan Reserve. That is for green space initiatives, and eventually, the biggest one is 100-plus acres, I can't tell you where, but within this kayak range, for everyone to spend a night on the river.
Oh, that would be awesome.
We need that.
Yeah, Troy does it.
Okay, yeah, they do it, except you're in these tiny little
Yeah.
boats, and it's just like,
And
oh,
want
heck
something
no,
bigger.
this is a beautiful space where you're going to reach up and grab the stars. I mean, it's absolute wilderness. We're working with someone who's like-minded to make that happen. So with that being said, that's about all I have. But
You know, do you have any estimates on how much a boat safe would cost?
yeah, about 30 grand each one, because they're pontoon and they're not only a ramp for a kayak or canoe, but it's a dock.
You want two. Are there
It's
any
kind of a
grants
floating
out there?
Yes, there are, and I can definitely send links to you.
Please, I would like to do this. I would
Thank
like to
you.
work with you on doing that. They couldn't have sent a better ambassador to bring this forward. So I would love to work with you. If there's grants, I've got some friends that are grant writers that could help with this, let's do this.
I just got chills, because seriously,
No, I'm liking this. This is a great idea.
well, it has to happen.
Yeah.
You know, because we have just a beautiful river here, and we have Rush Creek that comes into it, and when that thing's raging, you talk about a kayak run.
Yeah.
And then when the low dam comes out, which is about a year away.
I gotta
I'm
cut
no
you off,
worries.
but I tell you what, and I took your time, I'm sorry, but
No.
I just want to let you know that I'm for this.
Thank
Send me some estimates. I will talk to the two people that I know that write grants, and we'll see, and search for some grants. Let's see if we can get this done.
Thank you all
I-
very much.
I totally agree. If you guys need help with like getting permits approved or anything like
Yeah.
that, let us know.
Let us know.
Whatever
Whatever.
kind of support you need,
This is a
especially
great
if it's not
idea.
monetary, let us know. I'm more than
Yeah.
happy to provide that. If it is monetary, we'll take a look
We'll
at the
work.
budget.
Try
and
to
see what
stay
we can
away
do.
from that. I know
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
the platter full, but the one thing, MCD, they're so amazing at what they do in our watershed right here. And they have Terry that maintains it, and
Yeah.
I'm going to be working very closely with all those people at MCD, and I know the city of Piqua has a great relationship with them
We do,
too.
so.
So we'll build on that.
I gotta cut you off, though. I
No,
gotta be
that's
consistent.
it.
Alrighty.
One final question.
No, I
Are
can't-
four-wheelers
I can't.
allowed in the city limits?
You can ask him afterwards. I gotta have somebody else come up.
Okay, thank you.
Don Smith, Piqua, Caldwell Historic District, 333 West Greed Street. And I heard all the comments about the
Loved it.
neighborhood night out, and
Oh, man.
I want you to know from our side, there's a few people to thank. And the first one is sitting back there, Joe Wilson did an outstanding job of leading
Did.
that. And us, the rest of us on the board of the Caldwell Historic District certainly were supportive to that, lend some money towards it, and made it an event that took more than 200 people came to it. And we had a significant number of people, believe it or not, from out of town. We had people from Arcanum, Covington, and Dip City, as well as our own residents. We asked for registration, and that was one of the reasons, to find out who all was coming. And to take it further, the fact that you gentlemen came was a real plus for us. We
That was
felt
another
really-
Joe Wilson credit, to be honest with you. He came to the Wednesday meetings that we have, and he asked, he says, hey, instead of having your meeting, go to the National Night Out. I said, it's a great idea, and make it so. So
Well, Joe,
we
one
do
more
listen
time,
to our
Joe was
citizens.
good. But
We
it
do.
really, from my standpoint, it was nice to have you all there. We really appreciate it, and I know that other members of the district were happy that you all came to
Yeah,
that
they
event. And to take it one step further, all of our first responders that came and made it a part of it, and the opening the water for the kids to play, everything was really kind of an amazing thing. And I know, Commissioner Vetter, that you had your own neighborhood having a night out, and you took time away from yours to come to ours. So I really do appreciate that. And I just wanted you to know that it made an impact on our little group. We really appreciated your support in that. And I'm going to take one other thing I would like to talk about just very briefly. I hope you all know this already, but the Channel 5 TV station that we have here locally is carrying a program that a friend of mine and I co-host every 2 weeks on a Wednesday night. They're on Wednesday, Channel 5 at 6, and after that on YouTube. And AJ, who's in our back room here, is the guy who helps us put that together. It's called What's Happening Miami County, and I am looking for anyone who has a project, something that's going on in the county, let us know, and we will be happy to hype that along with all the other things that we do.
That guy right, that came up right before you has a project that
And you
would-
know what? That
could use that.
project would be a good interview that we could do and help get that put together even
Yes.
more so. So I just wanted you to be aware that if you have not watched this
Have, it's
program,
good.
all you have to put in the computer is what's happening in Miami County video, and you'll get the rundown of all the shows. And they've been since April, every 2 weeks. And we hope to continue that for quite a while to come.
right.
So I wanted to thank you all for what you do, and I really appreciated all that you did for the night out and helping us put that all together and make it what I'm going to call very successful for us.
I thought it was successful. I thought you did a great job, and we appreciate you hosting it. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
She said.
Joe Wilson, 211 West Green. National Night Out was great. I'm
All
glad
was.
you guys came. I think you should do that every year without,
That's a plan.
yeah, do that every year. It was fun. And the police and fire were great to work with, and we're thinking about some weird things for next year. Always think outside the box, as Don would always tell me.
Your trivia questions were something else.
Yeah, did you get them, any of them?
Oh, yeah, they,
Okay.
I did. I wish I had it with me because there were a few that I would love to know the answers.
I can tell you that. And they're not dirty or anything.
no, they're not. They're not.
Not at all.
They're funny.
Maybe one, but anyway. But the other thing is, I want to give you an update on the Neighbors Help Me Neighbor projects. We just finished our third house last week. It was up on, you're on a blank. Anyway, we finished a house, lady who was blind. She had weeds around her house. They were going up to about my belt, I guess, is a safe way to put it. So we pulled all those weeds. We put down fabric to keep the weeds from coming back, and then we put some rock on top to keep everything looking as nice as it is when we got done. And we were mowing the grass with a little push mower, and it took a while. And all of a sudden, a guy comes up in a big riding mower from across the street, and he says, "Why are you mowing that with a push mower?" And I said, "Well, that's all we have." So he said, "Well, I will mow that for her now and just take care of that for you." So those are the kind of things that can happen when the neighbors see what's
Love
going
it.
on. And so that was really nice. So we got that done. We have another house in early September. It's for a guy going blind. He's down on Roosevelt near the house we did on Roosevelt many years ago, if you remember that one. So that'll be our next one, and we have a group from downtown. The downtown merchants are going to help us with that on a Friday. So
Awesome.
we're getting all that put together. The one last thing is, a lot of times when people are up here talking, you hear a lot of negatives or bad things. So I was thinking, I started writing down some positive things that are happening in the city. So, Lock 9 recently opened. The YMCA obviously just opened.
Oh, yeah.
It looks great. The YWCA just did a total remodel of their facility, and it looks really nice. Of course, the Mills mural, and if you think about it, we're becoming a mural city. It's kind of hard to say that, but we've got at least 4 major murals in town.
we got another one coming too.
Well, I'm including the one that's in the park bank of the city, which I think would look great right here in front of you as you're looking at there, to have that design right there. And I could even see you putting it on a manhole cover or a person hole cover, whatever the name of it is nowadays. So anyway, and then the other 3, the one over on College that was done a few years ago. So it's kind of a funny thing to have happen, but we have that. Of course, the Powell Group, it's been 21 years going down that river. Out at the Interstate 75, the hotel project and all the restaurants there, that's going really well.
Yeah.
I wrote down the big bouncy house out at the old mall, which I recently went to. I didn't bounce, but my granddaughter did, and it's great. And there's an upcoming Mexican restaurant going out there that
Las
looks really
Marias.
nice. Of course, at the new library, everybody knows how wonderful it is, but they have a thing for the children there called Jean Bags, named after my mother. She asked for donations to go to the library. a few years ago. And it's green bagged, because everything she had was green. But it's filled with toys, puzzles, books, and activities for kids. So that's something that not everybody knows about.
No.
That's available. You check it out like a book, only it's an activity bag. And it's a
Nice.
great thing the Friends of the Library did. The redevelopment of the old library, which is near me, long overdue, and that'll be wonderful for our neighborhood, and some other homes in our area are getting redone as well. There's one down on Downing that a lot of animals were hanging out in, so they're doing a major rehaul there. The National Night Out in the Caldwell District, we've done it 4 years, although technically they weren't involved with a few of them, but now they're really involved and asking for a lot of interesting things. The Atomic City Bridge recently opened, that's a big thing, and of course, Neighbors Helping Neighbors, we're in our 4th year. So
Yep.
if you start thinking about all these things that are going on in the city, and there are more things that I probably
Your
forgot.
time is up. I appreciate the
Okay.
positive, but I got to
That's
cut
fine.
you off.
That's fine. All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Good, bad, indifferent.
Thanks for all the good work you do around the city, and
Yes.
please feel free to email me when you're doing other Neighbors Helping Neighbors, not just the ones that are in my district. I wouldn't mind going to a few more of them. Perfect.
And the other thing, Joe, I think that is important to say is that originally, when we talked about Neighbors Helping Neighbors, we were talking about basically painting, scraping and painting. And I think we've opened that up to the point where we can do some lawn and garden kinds of things. I don't think that's the primary purpose, but I think that we've done several of those projects successfully. And I think that's a really good thing to know.
And usually if you need the painting type work, there's some other work that goes as well, so it's a good combination.
I agree.
Anybody else? Public comment?
Mayor, seeing no other comments, I would motion that we adjourn from the comment section.
Need a second.
I second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
See, and you.
Will be, like the question that you had, will be put in the minutes of the meeting, and they will get answered.
Thank you.
And as a matter of fact, I got an answer about the Lowhead Dam and river restoration, the takeouts, the